Hi everyone, this is a recording of my debut hour of stand-up, Must I Paint You a Picture? I performed at the Edinburgh Fringe in August 2024. I'm recording this introduction in October 2024. Having just finished editing it, I think it needs a few disclaimers. I'm putting out a newsletter explaining a lot of things about the show in detail, including why I'm not doing it again. I'm not sure whether you'll read that. I would like you to, but I definitely want at the top of the show to basically say that this show is far from perfect. It's very rare that you ever feel like you did a perfect version of a stand-up show, at least in my experience. Better comics might disagree. But there are only one or two shows where I felt like I got close to that in Edinburgh, and this isn't from one of those. It's mostly taken from the final date on the 25th of August, and because of budgetary and logistical reasons, by which I mean I didn't sort anything in time, and did it all myself, using equipment I'm slightly embarrassed to reveal, I've then edited it on my computer, and therefore the sound might not be what we call professional quality. But I don't think it sounds too bad. This will probably be better, this introduction, because I'm recording it under my duvet. To add to the disclaimers, it's a fun run out the show, but it's also in front of the second smallest audience, The Run, of about 10 people, according to my sales report. Not surprising being on the Sunday night, ending at 5 minutes to midnight. Also, about half the crowd, and in the front row, were a family who had seen me at the Jurorama compilation show early in the day and heard a decent chunk of the show's jokes a mere hours before, so some of the better bits don't get what I think they would normally get. I was tempted to substitute in other recordings I have these jokes elsewhere, and also fix a couple of other mistakes I made in the first 40 minutes of the show, including where I miss a call forward, where I forget to say that I don't think being a sex therapist is a job you can just decide to be, which should pay off later, and then doesn't. I also mess my Bob the Builder joke. But in the end, I think it's fun to keep it as authentic as possible. Having said that, I've cut a couple of bits of some of the more egregious stuttering from me, and I've cut or bleeped some of the more libelous things I said, including the real-life information that could get me into legal trouble, plus the moment where I leave the venue to get the piano outside to stop playing, and I'm not really a laugh about it. I have, though, used a different recording for the ending. Basically, on the final show, annoyingly, I messed up the ending, and I really need what I wrote and said to be performed properly. To avoid that, I've inserted a different version of the ending from a recording I have from a few days earlier. The audio quality on this isn't as good, and it's the one where the piano starts playing halfway through, but it's the only one I have, and it's important to me that the version I set in stone has the ending I intended as close as possible. More detail as to why is in the newsletter, and I hope it's okay. But for now, having said all of that, I do think it's good. I'm pleased I did the show, because it's the show I wanted to do. I took a big swing, and I am a better comic for it. I also reserve the right to completely disown absolutely everything in this recording in the future. Comedy dates poorly, in my opinion, as does my own opinions about how good my stand-up is at any point in time. Your first show shouldn't be your best show, and I hope that will be true for me. But for now, it's the only one I've done, so it's the best one I've done so far. And other people seem to like it too. I hope you get something out of it, maybe even a fraction of what I got from writing and performing it. Finally, heads up on a couple of visual things. I wore festival wristbands in the show, which I referenced at one point. I pointed my hair before the punchline to the Prince Harry joke, and on stage, I performed with a small stand with unlit candles and my diary on top of it. The diary is covered in stickers of FDR, including a massive one inside which I reveal. Also, when the audience came in, they all had QR codes on their chairs that looked like standard self-promotional business cards. The video they linked to I haven't shared here, for what are hopefully obvious legal reasons. The last visual thing you might miss concerns the tech and the ending. I didn't have a tech person, hence me having to leave the stage at certain points of the show to stop pianos playing outside. To start the show with a cold open, I fiddle the lights as I leave. It sounds like a mistake on the recording, but it's actually deliberate. I then control the sound very visibly with remote control. I wanted the audience to know how the tech worked, and that I was doing it all myself, because at the end, spoiler alert, the lights, without me going to the tech desk, as if by magic, black out. Music starts and the candles light all at the same time. By the end of the Fringe, I did this with 3 separate remote controls hidden in various places. So that's how it ends. The show did alright at the Fringe because of word of mouth. So it'd be nice / cool / on theme for the show, I reckon, if that continued to spread. To repeat a cliche, telling people or shouting about it on social media is a massive help. I don't have an agent, and I'm never doing the show again, so I'm relying on you. 25% of all money raised from this recording will be split between Project Hope, which is doing incredible work in the Middle East at the moment, and the Campaign Against Living Miserably, for reasons that should or will be obvious. Any payment of over £10, I'll bump that up to 50%. Subscribe to my newsletter for updates, or follow me on Instagram at AlexKitson0. Hopefully I'll see you next year with the new show, and thanks again for downloading. I'd also like to thank Imogen Chassell, who I forgot to thank in my End of Edinburgh Instagram dump. A massive oversight I'm glad to correct now. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Front and roll. Oh, well, good, well. let's get this off. Hi everyone, we all right? Yeah. Thank you so much for coming out. It's the final night of the show. Welcome to the Yurt. That's not the level of Yurt enthusiasm we're going to need to overcome. What I will describe as barriers in this venue. Basically, this isn't the start of the show. This is a bit of sort of Yurt admin. Just because I've been doing the show for an entire month now. This is the final show of the run. What I have realised is that we're in a Yurt. We're in a tent next to an underpass. There's going to be nosebleed. I also, what I've worked out is that my ADHD medication runs out about halfway through. So, as a result, basically, it's going to be I will do my best to ignore it, and I'll treat this Yurt like it's Wembley. If you treat it like you're at Wembley, yeah? That's great. You're an enthusiastic man, Nate. We're building there. This is one of the most sarcastic things I've ever heard. Yes, we're at Wembley. Basically, we want to get on this side to go on that side's level. That's what we're going to do, basically. Oh, God. There we go. Basically what we do, I'm going to walk off, I'm going to come up to what is objectively too cool of a song, and I'm just going to go fucking nuts, bring it on, and we'll kick it in the dick, yeah? Yeah! So, who's the most enthusiastic? I think, what's your name again, mate?
I've got a bad leg.
You got a bad leg, that's alright. I really don't have to explain. I am the one standing up here. I don't know what everybody else thought they were coming to. I am absolutely no standing required. But yeah, right.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. What's the name?
Buzz.
Baz, lovely stuff. We're all going to get Baz level. I'm going to shut stuff on. I'm going to go and start the show. We'll pretend this bit didn't happen. Let's do it. Fucking final show. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to hear a secret? Yeah! Please on the stage is Ice Kitson! Let's go! Yes, please, Baz. Thank you so much for coming. The final night of the show. Very, very cool. I've been thrilled. I've been so pleased I could do this show, because this show, I never thought I'd do it, because this show is all about my biggest secret. Yeah, exactly. And the good news is, I'm going to tell you what it is. Yeah, big time. Happened in America in 2016. The bad news is, first of all, before I tell you what it is, I have to tell you why I'm telling you now. And that story starts 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, my life went a bit wrong. I had to move back to where I'm from, which is back in Devon. It's a place called Tiverton in Devon. And I feel like I need to explain it, because people don't really get what the West Country is actually like. They might think that's quite nice. People don't get quite how rural a lot of the UK still is, I think. I'll tell you how rural it is. I had to move home, like I said. I rang my mum. I was like, Mum, I'm coming home. It's all gone wrong again, classic. And she was like, oh yeah, sure, come home. Just to let you know, we've got rid of the internet. We don't think we need it. Yeah, exactly. And I don't sound like too Gen Z, but like, you need the internet. Like, you do. I feel like I'm informing you. And I thought I could handle it. I was like, I'm not like these other fucking young people. I can handle a couple of weeks out the internet. Turns out I can't. Like, within 3 days I got insane. Like, within 3 days I was just shouting a podcast like out the window, showing pictures of me on holiday to the cat. I don't know how many of you have ever tried to watch pornography live. It's not the same. Like, the neighbours don't like you being there. They kick you out. It's bullshit. You can't even fast forward. It's acoustic wax only, mate. I'm afraid it's absolutely barbaric. No one's really heard of my hotel, especially Tiverton, Devon. We don't really make the news nurture, but we were as I was moving home, because we're now best known for our former MP, who for many years was a man called Neil Parish. He was now best known for having to resign from Parliament for watching pornography in the House of Commons. And yeah, like, fair play, it's the only place you can get signal. But like, that whole story really fucked me off. Do you remember his excuse for doing it? Tractors, there we go. Yeah, they're from University Challenge over there. I was trying to Google tractors. Was his excuse? Watching porn, he got caught twice. And the whole story really fucked me up, because what a way to throw the West Country under the bus. So I go around the place, always say from Devon, I was going to say little funny jokes about Devon. There was Devon. Like, you stupid fucking inbred farmer fucks. And I try to fight against it. I don't like it when people say that. It's not. And then he's supposed to represent me. Neil, like, he was very happy. He gets caught doing something wrong. In that moment, he goes, "Fuck it, just play on the Devon farmer thing. They'll never know." Because they're like, "You're watching porn in Parliament. What are you doing that for?" And, "What? Oh, I don't know. I was going I'm just a farmer, me. I don't understand this magic box. I'm just looking up Tracker, my favourite thing. And it just starts showing me pornography. Honestly, I was innocently Googling big black flowers. Only good thing about it was, I went back to Tiverton the week after it all kicked off. Went to shop on my local high street. Not every single shop in Tiverton started doing. Putting the tractor magazines on the top shelf. Absolutely amazing. I was moving home, life hadn't gone to but before that, things were going alright. Things were going alright for Kitson. I was living in Bristol with my first ever girlfriend. I was doing this is going okay. I was about to sort of quit my day job and I've been told I was going to be on TV later in the year. And to be honest, I quite like my day job. It's quite good fun. Liked it because I used to be basically before I did this, I was a teaching assistant in Bristol and teaching Bristolian kids was amazing. Teaching Bristolian kids phonics. It's the funniest job I've ever had ever. It's amazing. I don't know if you guys know how you teach phonics and the Bristolian accent. It's incredible. Because the way you teach phonics, you hold up like a letter that we're going to say the sound. In Bristol's amazing. They say it the Bristol way. So you're like letter R and they're like R, and then you're like an A and they're like A, and they're like a K and they'll go like that. That's true, mate. I was there every day. Prove me wrong. I really liked, especially at the start, because I'm in my 20s, right? So I was the same sort of mental age as most of the kids. But then you get a bit older, and you realise, oh fuck, these kids are younger. The first time you hear slang you don't understand is quite a big moment, I think. The first time you feel like proper, the first time it to me is the first time I heard the phrase "bad bitch." And I know it's a compliment now. But the first time you hear it, it doesn't sound like one. Because the first time I heard it, there were like 12-year-old Bristolian kids, 12-year-old maybe I was a 12-year-old girlfriend. It's like, oh yeah, mate, she's amazing, like she's a real bad bitch. And that confused me because I don't know about you guys. I'd never want to date like a normal bitch, like a bad one. Like she sounds awful. But I understand what's happening quite often in English. We use words that mean like bad things, like really, really good things, right? I think we started with things like sick and wicked and mental. It's just progressed. Stuff like bad bitch. Now everyone's serving cunt and having brat summers and shit. I just don't know how bad the word's going to get. I don't know how much lower we can go. I don't know what you guys think. I'll go first, fine. I think if 10 years time I chat to my mates about their partners, they're going to be like, yeah man, honestly she's amazing. Like I love her so much. Can't wait to move. Can't wait to have kids like this girl. She's perfect. She's incredible. This girl, she's not just like a bad bitch. Like this girl's a real, awful, racist whore. Like the fish in the bedroom, mate. War crimes. I think that's where we're headed. Legit, because we do all the time. All the bars we go fit all the time. Every single pub and restaurant I walk into now has the menu like a dirty burger. A dirty fry. 10 years ago, if anyone offered any of you like a dirty burger, you'd be like, no. Like, get me a clean one. And they're all nom 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 nom. That means extra onion rings are bullshit. I went to the menu and I saw filthy fries on the menu. Yeah, filthy. I feel no one cares about this apart from me. Filthy. And to be honest, I need bad idea. I could go out now to the Edinburgh Festival on Sunday night. Some coffee, anal prolapse chips, out of a van, and I'll be like, nom, 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 nom. Like, come spaghetti hoops then, I guess. Like, have that hemorrhage and a Nazi pizza. Let's go, man. Yeah, I just think bad bitch. I think it's one of those things you can only say if you're American, really. I don't think you can get away with it if you're British. It's like I wanted to be American when I was a kid, but we'll get to that. It's like the word motherfucker. Like a cool American guy would be like, motherfucker. Everyone's like, yeah. I'm from Devon. If I'm talking about motherfucker, that's someone who's their own stepdad. Like, that's not the same thing. But it's not but words change all the time. It's not the words you realise are changing. It's like the word unthinkable. I don't think you guys, that changed a couple of years ago in this country. I don't think you guys spotted that. The meaning of the word unthinkable changed completely when the Queen died. I don't know if you remember, they changed completely. Because everyone came in the news at the time, they said the same thing. They said, Her Majesty has died, the unthinkable has happened. And I'm not going to slag anyone's views about the Queen, but it wasn't unthinkable that she might die. She was old as fuck. That's not, old woman dies is not unthinkable. To be honest, that's one of those thinkable things. I think that's incredibly thinkable. Like, fair play, had the news like, oh my god, you've heard about the Queen? Like, no, what? It's like, yeah, man, it's unthinkable. Like, she's just taken up parkour. At that point, we're like, that is unthinkable. It was actually like a gorilla jump over Windsor Castle. She fell in the moat and that's how she died. Like that would be... That would be unthinkable. I know I come across as too anti-right. I know, I'm a bit mixed up. I'm a liberal guy, but I went to Prince Harry's wedding. Yeah, well, he's not real Prince Harry. It's just my mate James. We just call him Prince Harry. Just because his uncle's a paedophile. But you got nicknames. You got to tease your mates. How you get through? Have you met someone who's never been teased or bullied before? Have you met? No, you might have done. They exist and they're insane. They're not human. I can't talk. You must have met one. There was like, oh yeah, I work in recruitment, and they're absolutely crazy. Like I once ruined a date with one once. Basically, it was my fault. I ruined it, but basically, because I thought her name was too funny. Because her name genuinely was Jasmine Smelly. I thought that was funny enough to like bring up. I thought it'd be like a fun like icebreaker thing. Like, it was my first date I've ever been on, and we all get teased for our name, right? Like, I got teased for my name's Alex Kitson, which is fine until some psychopath comes up with phallic shitson. So like, so I was like a fun like icebreaker thing to sit down. So we sat down on my first ever date ever. It was like okay, I was like okay, we can all get this out of the way. Elephant in the room. You've got a funny name. And she was like, what, Jasmine? I'm like, this is not going to work. I went, no, like your surname, like Smelly. Did you get teased at school for that at all? Because I got a shit hot chat. And she was like, no, not really. Like, neither me and my twin got bullied for that. I was like, what, the Smelly twins didn't get bullied? What school you get with your homeschool? Like, what happened? She's like, no, like, why would I get bullied for that? I don't know if you guys have ever been in the position where you've had to explain how you personally would have bullied someone. That you're on the first date. It doesn't go that well. I just don't feel something. I'm not like a natural bully. Like I've never done it before. She was like, how do you bully me? I was like, I don't know. I was like, well, go on, do it now. I don't know what to do. I just sort of improvise it. Like, she was like, how do you bully me? I was like, okay, you probably walk in. I'm like, I should have already left at that point. No second doubt. You shouldn't take the piss out of people's names. I don't like, you can't help your name. I don't like my name. Like, my name's Alex, but it's short for Alexander. And if you're English, you're called Alexander. That's a prick's name. I'll give you something. I'm meeting like my ex's new boyfriend. I don't know, maybe I'm in hell. And then like, oh yeah, my new boyfriend is called Alex. I mean, might be a nice guy. I'll come meet him. It was like, oh yeah, my new boyfriend is called Alexander. That's my name. Even I'd be like wanker. If you have to abbreviate your name to make it socially acceptable, that's not a good name. That's my take. Oh no, I'm the most controversial comedian at this fringe. I don't think it's like Reg. Classic example. Like Reg is cool. Reginald. Help you organise your line trick. Reginald. It's like I've got a friend called Ada, whereas I'll just bring Ada around, bring Ada to the party, like it's a real laugh. Adolf. Yikes! Who invited Adolf round? I hate that guy. He sucks ass in a bad way. I know loads about Hitler. It's a quick brag. I'm Jewish. That's our thing. I'm not practicing because I'm already amazing at it, but it just means I know loads about Hitler. And I think about Hitler a lot when I'm single, because I always think it's mad Hitler had a girlfriend. Yeah, that's crazy. Worst guy ever. And I go, I don't think I've got any single guys. I genuinely think that's borderline inspirational. He's the worst guy to ever live ever. Even if he found someone, there's probably someone out there for you. Right? I always think it must be mad Eva Braun to be dating Hitler. I always think it must be weirder for her friends. Because we've all got a mate who's hooked up with someone who thinks like a little bit dodgy. But that's next level when your mate's dating Hitler. Even we know you're like a bad boy. This is way too far. Imagine having to sit down with all her friends and be like, have that chat. I'd be like, Eva, me and the girlies. We're not very, they're German. We're not very sure about Adolf. To be honest with you, yeah, he's quite shouty man. Does not respect boundaries or borders, and he's literally got a red flag, babes. I don't know what else to tell you. I taught history at school. I didn't get, and I taught them that. Didn't get fired. Because I was quitting. I was quitting for a number of reasons. A, I was doing this. and like they did teach me get me teaching lessons, which I'm pretty sure was illegal, but they did. But it's not the lessons that didn't matter. It's like year 7 history. It was just like, oh, we have to re-teach them all anyway. Just go in and just teach them anything you want. There's still a class of kids in Bristol who still think the Spice Girls were responsible for 9/11. Like, I just thought that was fun to say. But I was quitting. Also, I was undergoing a campaign at the time because my New Year's resolution in 2022 was to get sexier. Because I was with my girlfriend at the time, and she was much better than me, I was really worried she was going to notice. So I was like, I'm going to get sexier. And I asked my girlfriend, I was like, how do I get sexier? She said, stop doing that. But I felt like I needed to sort of quit the job because, like, I like being. It's just not a very sexy job. I think being a teacher assistant. I think being a teacher's sexy. Like people fancy teachers, people have sex teachers. People have like sexual fantasy, do like sexual role play about sleeping with a teacher. No one's doing a sexual fantasy about sleeping with a TA. Like what's that gonna be like? Oh, what are you gonna do to me? I'm like, oh, I'll probably go fetch someone more senior. Like no one's into that. It's like a vibe. Like I found. And to be honest, I don't really trust sexy people. To be honest, I think it's weird. Sorry, I don't got loads of sexy people in. I'm like really confident. But like the job sex therapist, I do not trust at all. Do you? No. Good. Yeah, I can't think of a more arrogant job in the world to decide to become than to become a sex therapist. You can't think about who those people are. Like, when you think about it, who's a sex therapist? Is someone who at some point, like mid-bang, gone, I am so good at this. I should teach the others. Like, that is mad. It's crazy. I think my shag's at degree level, actually. It's crazy. I don't trust her at all. I don't care what she said. I'm not going. That's just not a job you can decide to be, I think. Like, I'm just jealous. I know I'm just jealous. I'm jealous of people who, confident. I'm jealous of anyone who can wear white trousers. Like, fair, but if you wear white trousers, fair enough. There's no quicker way of being like, oh, look at me, I never shat myself as an adult. Like, well done. Like, we're different people. Like, congratulations. Like, we live different lives, clearly. Something like took 5 months to try to fart at urinals. Like, we're just different people. There's no one's better or worse. I just don't think I'm a very. This is the thing. I was like, so it starts really serious. I was like, I'm going to get sexy. I did what I do at the start of every single year, which I decided to go running, and I forget I hate running. Because I figured out why this year, by the way. I worked out why I don't like running. Because I don't have the impact I want on other people when I go running. So I go running around my local park. I live in Clapham in London because I'm actually like a little bit of a cunt. I go running around my local park. And I see like other guys running. They're all like tall, athletic guys, and they're all running like, oh, I actually earn money. And I feel like when people look at them, and they're all running like this. I feel like everyone looks at them and goes like, wow, like, he must be some kind of athlete. I feel when I go running, everyone's looking at me like, wow, like he's doing that for his mental health. Like, it's not the vibe that I want to put out. Like, I just don't think I've got very good sort of body confidence. Like, I always have bad body image. Like I saw like some like muscles. I was like, oh, I want them. And then I realised those muscles were on a horse. Have you guys seen a horse? Yeah. Yeah, mate, they're ripped. I want to be a horse. Yeah, big time. I think every man secretly wants to be a horse. That's my theory. I feel like we've not connected in the moment. I'll make about me. I want to be a horse. I want to be. Horse has got every single thing I want. Everything I want. A horse has got. It's got like a job. Like it's got like cool abs, like cool hair. Like massive penis. Like the posh girls want to ride on the weekends. All the ketamine you want. I don't know half of you are listening to me. Your home life stable, and like you get to wear like a nose bag for your favourite snack. Tell me that's not the dream. I did the same this year, by the way. I was like, I'm going to go running. That's my thing. I quit mid-Jan, and then 5 weeks ago, just before the Fringe, I got athlete's foot for the first time. And call me fucking stupid. Like, I thought that was a condition I would be immune from if I was not an athlete. No, it's just having sweaty feet. It's like ringworm on your foot. No one ever talks about I thought it was like a brag thing to get. Like it was like a call that you've got if you're medically too sporty. Like getting you would be like, oh yeah, like I was just down the gym, I just benched it too hard and I grew abs on my foot. So I thought that's what it was. No, it's just sweaty. Out of all the fungal infections, that's got the best PR. Because that is a very cool name, so fundamentally disgusting. Like, I think the same person who named tennis elbow, because that is a condition you get if you straighten your wrist too much and your elbow hurts. There's no way the person who had that first did it play tennis. He's just described his thing. I'll be like, hey doctor, I've got this thing. Like, yeah, my elbow hurts when I did this too much. And they're like, how do you do that then? Oh, fucking yanking it at the tennis. Like, I just didn't realise you could do that. Like, all of the conditions just rebrand them, make them sound cooler. I didn't realise you could do that. Like, I'm going to do everything I've got. I've got like I don't even pick this up, I've got a very minor stutter, I'm tongue-tied. That's lame to say, but if I just go, oh, hey, my name's Alex, but sometimes, yeah, my mouth just does like a remix. Like, I'm not like, that's much better. I get nosebleeds when I'm stressed. That's lame at parties, but if I ever go like, oh, yeah, like, you know, I've got cocaine schnoz, people want to talk, they want to hang out. Like, I've decided, actually, I don't have gonorrhea anymore. I've actually got Shagger's cock. It's a pretty cool condition, actually. You guys should check it out. I just don't think you're very. Can't be real at this gig. Fucking hell. Okay. Right. You guys want the fake shit? Okay. It's the Edinburgh Fringe. I've got to be real. Got to be vulnerable, yeah. Well, basically, I just don't think I'm a very sexy person. I'll tell you, I couldn't get it up once because I didn't like the decor in her room. I'm trying to be real here, mate. I'm trying. Basically, what happened was the first guys we offered mates have been quite a while, and she was American, which I thought was super cool. We'll get to that. But we went. I went back to hers for the first time, and she had a decoration in her room which I didn't know about. Which was a mural right next to the bed, like as close to the bed you could do, with, as you could be, with portraits of the faces of, you know, and these faces were like about as close as you can get as you're lying on the bed. Yeah, portraits and faces of every feminist icon from history, and that's no, obviously that's fine. Obviously that is okay. I'm pro that, obviously. I just didn't know she was gonna that was gonna be there. And this girl, I don't know how to put this bit. She was into some stuff in the bedroom. I don't know how. It didn't feel like immediately like that feminist to do. Yeah, whatever you're thinking, yeah. And that's absolutely fine. Obviously, I'll come for that. Can't be feminist, no shame if that's what you're into. We're happy to help to us. I just didn't know they were going to be there. And I went back to her and saw every feminist icon from history I admire, like staring back at me. And I'm looking at them and they're looking at me. I went, I don't think I can. And she's like, why not? So I don't think I could do what you want me to do when they're here. Right? I don't know the lads. I don't know what's the right thing to do in that situation. What? I'm asking. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to be a good guy because I don't think I personally. This is just me, maybe. I don't think I personally can hit someone on the bottom and look Malala in the eye. Like maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm some beta cuck. I'm trying to do the right. I want to go to heaven. I don't want to spaff on Sylvia Plath. I think she's suffered enough. Like Well, we had to come to a solution. I didn't know what to do. Basically, in the end, I was like, what do I do? What's the feminist? So long story short, I got pegged. And so now I could look at all those, but I'm with you, sisters. Like, but I'm not coming either. I don't think I could be real. It's hard to know what to do sometimes. It's hard to know. I've had to stop. I'm 27, right? So all my mates back in Devon started getting married, and like I've had to stop being quiet about my own new opinion about wedding, which I think is weird that women still get walked down the aisle by their dad. I know it's tradition and everything. I just don't think it's a tradition we would have got rid of at some point, right? Women aren't property, like we're still like handing them over. Right, but I don't know if I'm too woke for the fringe. But like, I just don't know if it's that appropriate anymore. You know, if I ever get married, the person I marry is probably like millennial or Gen Z. She's not like owned by her father, right? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna get her landlord to do it. I think that's more appropriate. Take his hand, baby. He's the reason it's happening to Frankie and Betty's. Like, we can't afford it. Yeah, I really thought me and my ex were gonna get married. I really did, but we were breaking up. I didn't realise. So but like this is a comedy show. I don't be too much like a downer. But like I've got a really good way of giving bad news. Basically, something me and my mate James do. Prince Harry from before. Basically every single time we got to give bad news, we put some good news in front of it. He's the most well-adjusted person I know. We've done this ever since we were teenagers. It's like a little joke format called good news, bad news. Put some good news before your bad news. Put a little twist on it. Think you're laughing at it. Things are already a little bit better. right? So example would be like, good news, I passed my test. Yeah, exactly. Bad news. Yeah, Shagger's cock again. So that'll be an example. So yeah, 2 years ago. Good news. I said to my girlfriend, I think we're gonna be together forever. Bad news. She said that's one of the many things we don't have in common. She gave me the reasons. Fair play. You know, number one, horse fetish. I hold my hands up. Yeah, fair enough. But generally the reasons were, she said I was, she said I never opened up. I was never sincere. I never sort of. Expressed myself properly, never took anything seriously. Also, she wanted to move to London. At that time, I was refusing to leave the West Country ever, or think about the future in any way, shape, or form. And also, she said I was too chaotic and all over the place. Don't know what she's talking about. And it took me by surprise. We were close, like really close, like too close. Like, it got weird. It was one of those. It got a bit odd. Like, we used to use the same toothbrush. Yeah, well, she didn't know that, to be fair. I just thought hers tasted better, and but like, I thought things were going great. I think when you just really like something, you just ignore the problems of it. I think, I thought things are going great. To be honest, I thought we'd invented a new sex position. It's pretty good. I'll tell you about it. It's pretty hot. It's called the 70. Basically, it's one better than 69. Basically, what happens is she lies away from you and you cry in the fetal position. And it's pretty hot. It's pretty good. You guys should check it out. It's pretty hot. But like, yeah, it's my first ever breakup. Like, you know, I'd only been on one date before her with Jasmine Smelly, and so I was having like the teenage breakup you're supposed to have, like, you know, about 10 years before in my mid-20s. That's not like a cool look. I was ringing up my mates that they're quite fancy day jobs, being like, "Why have you read my poetry yet, you dick?" Like, it's not a good thing. And because we're in love, I think. Like, it's the only time I've been in love, so sometimes I worry it wasn't the real thing. Like, so I don't nothing to compare it to. So I wanted to know if it's the same love everybody else is talking about. Like, because I was in Boots the other day. I saw like a poster print of something you can hang on like your toilet or your kitchen or something, and it said, "I love you like I love the stars." And like, I'm not going to slag off the stars. But like, it's a different type of affection. I think I'm not really like anti the stars. I just don't like. I think I like my girlfriend a bit more. I'm just not. I like the stars, but I'm just not devastated when they leave me every morning. Like, I think I know why they say it, because like I think I love the stars like I love my dad. Like, they're fine. They're just a bit like gassy and distant. But like, so it was my first breakup basically. And because I'd just been a bit late start to everything. I'll tell you a story which sums that up. It's the story of my second ever kiss. That's right. I've had two. I was 16, right? I was out of the town. I was out in Exeter, my local city, and a girl started talking to me. Right, this is like a big day out, big night out, Kitson HQ, and we were chatting, we were flirting. And I'd read in Cosmopolitan that you're supposed to give women like a compliment to let them know you're interested. And I thought she smelt nice, so I thought I'd tell her. And she smelled like strawberries and raspberries and that. But like in the moment, I forgot the words for strawberries and raspberries. So by the way, I should say, you smell like yogurt. Yogurt. Like, no one smell like yogurt. Like, what was I hoping she was gonna say? Like, oh my god, like, thanks for noticing. Honestly, I just slashed her some Yakko. Like, no one must have, like, I mean, she must not have heard a thing, right? Things going okay. It's time for my second ever kiss. Tell me if you think this is like a good thing to happen. Because after about 5 seconds, she pulled away and said, and I quote, "Have you done this before?" Like, that's not a good review. No, yeah, like, and I have to lie. It's tough being a 16-year-old boy, man. You're always trying to look cool. You never want to look lame. Like, you're coming every 5 seconds. So like, so I had to make something out quickly. I was like, yeah, I've kissed 10 billion women. Or so. And we went back to it. After 5 seconds, she pulled away again. I said, no, seriously, I don't think you're doing this right. Have you done this before? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm embarrassed about what happened next. Because you got to bear in mind, I was 16, I was very stupid. Because for want of a better word, we're going to like an argument about whether I was doing it right, because I didn't want to back down. Didn't want to look stupid. So I was trying to win, and I'm mortified about this. I said, trying to win the argument, I said, why are you being like this? Is this because you didn't orgasm? Yeah. Exactly, I know. And she quite rightly was like, that is so stupid. Like, you can't orgasm from kissing. I said, well, how come I have? No. That's not how you win an argument. There's one line in that story. I was 23. Okay, so point being, I was a bit late to it. So the breakup hit me pretty hard. And then 2 days later, I got some more bad news. Basically, I said I was going to be on TV later that year. Did anyone see me on TV? Yeah, no, me neither. It didn't happen. So basically, the reason why I thought this, when I started doing comedy, I had like a mentor who was also like a sort of producer on a TV show, and he promised he got me a slot doing stand up on the next series of that TV show. He ran me 2 days off the breakup and said, by the way, that's not happening. So because I said, oh, okay, because he gave me the reason why. Basically, he said that me and the other producers, we think that like. We want people. Well, the other producers want someone who talks about themselves a little bit more. Like your stuff, it's alright, but you don't really talk about your life. It's like your dirty burgers bit. It's okay. Your horse joke, it's a bit odd, but whatever. But like, yeah, we think it makes better TV when people come on, they talk about their lives, talk about what's going on with them. And the audience have walk away with a really clear picture of who that person is in the short amount of time they're on the screen. And that really annoyed me because he was absolutely 100% correct. Because I never talked about myself on stage because I just didn't want to. I do comedy because I want people to leave feeling better, not just talk about me. Oh yeah, like I don't want to do that. And so I said, oh, have you got any advice? What should I do? He said, well, what do you want to do in comedy? I said, well, I want to do the Edinburgh Fringe. Well, that's what I want to do. He said, well, I really start considering writing for other people because you're not the kind of comedian. And he's here tonight. I'm writing for him because you're not the kind of comedian who makes it doing that. That was pretty annoying. And I was moving out of the flat anyway because I had to. So I moved back home to Devon. So I sat there with no internet. And I was sat. I just felt really stupid, right? Really naive. Like I'd reached for things that are too good to be true, and like I'd been sort of was upset because of it, and it made me think about like the story I'm going to tell you in The Secret again, because that was the last time I felt like this. Like I sort of really been too optimistic, reached for something too, and then suffered because of it. I tried to forget about America in 2016 because I was ashamed and embarrassed about it. But these things had happened because I wanted to talk about myself. Right? I had my shields up, right, and then like talking about. I need to get them down. Talk about why they're up in the first place. That would probably be the first step. So I'm going to tell you what the story. The only thing you need to know before I tell you is that the context is that when I was a teenager I was obsessed with America, like proper obsessed. Like I felt the whole American dream thing because I was like a little politics nerd basically, and Obama was elected president when I was 12, so he was president throughout my teenage years. And Obama was just so much cooler than every UK politician. He was so much cooler than Neil Parish, basically. like he felt like somebody who could say motherfucker. And to be honest, I think he should have done it. He should have done it more. Because he's quite popular for an ex-president. He'd be way more popular if he said motherfucker loads. Like when they killed Osama bin Laden. Guys, big news if you haven't heard. We got him. I don't know if you heard about him. He did 9/11 the Spice Girls. Basically, he's quite famous speech. He came out when they killed him. Every single TV channel cut to a live feed from the White House. Obama came out and he made a really famous speech. He came out and he said, "Last night, the United States conducted an operation and we've found and we've killed Osama bin Laden." And it was like, "Fuck." Yeah, everyone in America was like, yeah, America, USA. Everyone went fucking nuts. And then like, what Trump wins a couple of years later. Like, if Obama came out that day and had just gone like, we got him, motherfuckers. Like, he'd still be in office now. Like, he'd be like, yeah, fifth term, yes, we can, motherfuckers. Like, that's how that works. Like, yes, we can, by the way, it's my favourite political slogan of all time, because it's the same as Bob the Builder's. And Bob the Builder was first, and no one gives him credit for it. But Bob the Builder, by the way, Bob the Builder and Obama, my two childhood heroes. I think I've been let down. I've been let down badly by both, because I think both promised things they did not deliver on. Because Obama, I don't think promised everything he did in 2008. I think that's fair to say. And Bob the Builder, I don't know if you've watched an episode recently. It was a British TV show. It was on state TV on the BBC for 11 years. It's basically propaganda for the building trade. Like, because every episode, Bob the Builder is a British builder who in every episode, 10-minute episodes, hears about a problem. I mean, he goes to that problem, fixes that problem, and never asks for money. And I don't know if you've ever interacted with a British builder. That is very much the opposite of their vibe. If an episode of Bob the Builder was more realistic, every episode would be about sort of a month longer than they said it was going to be. Like, it costs about $3,000 more. And let's face it, Bob would most likely significantly more misogynistic. Like, I had a build around come around my flat a couple of months ago for the first time ever, and I was really excited because I don't really meet many proper men. And we're staring at my oven because my oven was broken. I thought it'd be fun. This was a British builder. I thought it'd be fun to be like, oh, can we fix it? Hoping to be like, yes, we can. Because I think it's fun to have fun. So I was like, oh, I was like, can we fix it? And I was hoping he'd say, yes, we can. Did he fuck? I said, can we fix it? He went, do you pay cash? Like, that's a British build. Like, when Brexit happened, I wrote a very sincere blog. This is the kind of teenager I was. I was very anti-Brexit, and I wrote a very, very sincere blog blaming Bob the Builder. Because I think Bob gave us way too much confidence in British industry. We're like, oh yeah, Bob can do it. Of course we can do it all by ourselves. I remember we were watching episodes for this art. Not once. I'll tell you what. I think Romain would have won. If Bob the Builder just once rang up his Polish mate, I think Romain would have been alright. I genuinely think, yeah, but that's just the kind of teenager I was. I was just super political, I'm less political now. I still think all the same things. I just don't think I help. Like, I just don't think every cause I lend my voice to, I think is actively harmed by my involvement. I just don't think I just fuck everything up. I stopped last year. Basically, I saw Pretty Patel in the street, and I fucking hate Pretty Patel. I was a little bit personal, right? It was about the time the Miranda policies kicking off. I was super anti it. I thought it was like a racist policy. But it's a little bit personal. My grandparents are refugees, right? They're Jewish refugees. There's a kerfuffle in Europe. I don't know if you guys heard about that. There's even Braun's ex being like super toxic. So I saw it all the way across the street, and I was, been reading about it in the papers that day. I was like, you know what? I saw it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to say something. It's democracy. Maybe no one's told her people are against it. So I saw it, I was like, what am I going to say? I just fucked up. I just fucked everything up last minute. So I saw it from all the way down the street. I went marching up the street, working out what I was going to say to her. I went all the way up to her. Miss Patel, I just want to say, I think the Miranda police are disgusting. I think your views are abhorrent. I think being racist is one of the worst things a person can be. Just because you're a person of colour doesn't mean you can't be racist. I think everything wrong with this government. I think everything wrong with this country. I'm really pleased you lost your job. Anyway, turns out it wasn't Pretty Patel. Fuck! It's just some other hot Indian lady. Shit. So less loud. I can start wearing my contacts. I'm less loud about stuff before I think. But when I was a teenager, I was just super into especially American plus, because I left school in 2015. I was, like I said, I was super militant anti-Brexit, and America felt like the sort of liberal place to be at the time. This is pre-Trump. And in hindsight, I think it's just the rhetoric that got to me. American political rhetoric is so much more optimistic than British politics. I used to rewatch Obama's Audacity. There's one he gave in 2004. The Audacity host speech all the time. It's a fucking banger. It's got some great bits. I don't know why it spoke to me. So in it, he goes like, "Oh, I'm just a skinny kid with a funny name, but I feel like America's a place for me too." I was quite a sort of overweight teenager with quite a normal name in the UK. But I was like, that speaks to me. And then I got to more presentations, more speeches. People like JFK. JFK's got my favourite quote of all time, which is, don't just curse the dark, light a candle. Fuck. Don't just curse the dark, light a candle. Imagine being able to say something that good, just in conversation. I've never written anything that good ever. The best thing I've ever come up with is that fucking 69-70 joke earlier, and I'm not sure you weren't sure about that one. When I left school, I only had one plan basically. I was like, I'm going to go to America. That feels like the place for me. But if it wasn't clear, I was absolutely monumental, mahoosive virgin. So everyone just assumed I was trying to do like a Love Actually. The guy in Love Actually goes to America because the British, American girls like British accents. That's what I thought I was doing, and no one believed that I wasn't doing. This is my teenage diary. I don't think you can see it from here. This is actually genuinely the holiday diary when I took to America. It's got loads of stickers on it from the FDR Museum, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Because he's my favourite president at the time. Because I haven't read what he'd done to the Japanese yet. I keep a diary. I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, he's like my comedy hero, the Wimpy Kid. So no one believed me. Even James, best mate James, didn't believe me. He was like, good news, American girls like British accents. Bad news, they don't mean yogurt sniffers from Devon. James, that's not where I'm going. Not where I'm going. I'm going because I want to see the country. I'm academically interested in it, mate. And he went, fine, whatever. Like, he was already at uni at the point. He was a medical student, first year at university. And he went, fine, look, as your friend, I want this to happen for you, right? I want you to lose your virginity. Because I care about you, to be real. I want this to happen. I'm really busy at uni. I've got loads of stuff, revision, exams and stuff. I finished my exams on the 24th of June. I'm going to ring you on the evening of the 24th of June, and I'll ask you one question, and that is, has there been any change in that department? Has there been any interest? I went, whatever, mate, do whatever you want. That's not where I'm going. So I started to save up the money to go. I thought I could save up the money to go because I read the headline of a blog that said how to get around America for $50 a day. And I went, brilliant, amazing, didn't read any more. I was just there, I just believed everything I read on the internet. I was like, yeah, get around America for $50 a day. And what? There's sexy milfs in my area who want to have sex with me? Why didn't they say? And so I started working minimum wage jobs back in Tiverton. I was picking pumpkins and working in a shop and stuff like that. I saved enough money, bought a return ticket and went. Landed in LA and almost immediately started running out of money. I checked the blog about 2 hours after I landed. Turned out the bloke who written the blog is staying everywhere for free, and it was more like how to get cocktails for under $50 in like North Dakota. So I had sort of pretty immediate, pretty like severe cash flow problem. But I wasn't going to let that deter me. So basically, I was like, let's do this. So I got across the country anywhere I could. I mostly couch surfed. I stayed in like homeless shelters and hostels. I nearly joined 2 cults accidentally. I didn't join. I ended up in famously cheap New York. And I was staying in the cheapest place I could find in New York at the time, which, if you're interested, was $25 a night to sleep in the corner in the mattress in the corner of a illegally sublet art studio in Brooklyn, which I shared that mattress with a dog and an entire French family. And the French family, just because Hélène is mentioned later, who's the sort of matriarch of the family, Hélène earned all of their money by singing jazz while selling jam on the subway. Yeah, not a joke there, just texture. But I was still having a great time. I was having, living out, all the things. I was going to see all the things I wanted to see. I've been to Washington DC, been to the museum, got some cool stickers, but I still running out of money. And so basically, I needed 2 weeks not spending any money at all before my flight home, which I booked from Boston. So I read about a website called HelpX. It's the kind of website where you can work for your food and board. They're really common in like Australia, Southeast Asia, New Zealand. You can go work on like a farm or something. You work for food and board. They're really, really common, really cheap way of travelling. In those countries, there's hundreds of thousands of entries. In America, on the mainland, there was only 6 entries in the entire country because of labour laws. But luckily, one of them is near me. So it was a Christmas tree farm in upstate New York. I went, amazing, perfect. I'm going to meet Santa. So I emailed Santa, and he replied straight away and said, come on, meet me. I live in a village called. It's about 2.5 hours by coach outside of New York. I'll meet you at the bus station. I live just outside the village. I went, perfect, amazing. Got the coach, went to go meet him. And that's where the story I want to tell you starts. The only other things you need to know, this is the diary entry from a few days later, recapping the previous few days' events. The other thing I need to tell you is I wrote my diary. I was the kind of teenager, I was wearing a lot of these, basically. I was a bit of a wanker. I wrote my diary at the time. I think I thought I was like Bill Bryce or something. I wrote my diary in first person present at the time because I wanted to live in the moment. So yeah, 28th of June, this is the story. I arrive at the bus station and meet. He's in his 60s with a whiny New York accent. He lives outside the village, so I get in his car and we set off into the woods. Almost straight away, he asked me if I smoke weed, and I don't know what to say. My instinct is to say the truth, which is no, because it makes me paranoid. But also, I'm staying at someone's house, and that seems like the correct answer. But something about the way he asked seems like I'm supposed to say yes. I don't want to look lame. So I said, no, it's quite expensive in the UK, and he seems to buy that as an excuse. We keep on driving. He keeps on asking me about my age and how he can't believe how young I am. He says the girls must be all over me. I don't look lame again. So I said, well, they're quite expensive in the UK too. After about 20 minutes drive into the woods, we arrive at the house and he gives me a tour. The house is quite big and he has a lot of rooms. He keeps on describing how, with every activity associated with that area of the house, how he does it naked. Here's the kitchen, where I like to cook, naked. Here's the darts board, where I like to play darts, naked. Here's the outdoor shower, where I like to shower with swimming trunks on, only joking, I do it naked. This is the point where sometimes people get tense. I get out fine. I wouldn't be telling you the story, but I don't think it was a funny story. So, yeah, unclench your arseholes. After the tour and a game of darts, he decides he wants to play me guitar. I've never experienced one-on-one guitar playing this way round before, and it really is quite intense. He plays me 9 songs. 6 of them are love songs of his own composition. Then he plays me Bright Side of the Road by Van Morrison, Country Roads by John Denver, then bizarrely Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. The I Get Knocked Down, I Get Up Again song. He's playing the guitar so intensely that he keeps on breaking the strings, and then replaces the strings until he runs out of spare strings. Then says, well, that's enough of that then, and puts the TV on. It's when he starts laughing at an episode of The Big Bang Theory really loudly that I decide he is completely mental. I make an excuse and I go to bed. The next day I go downstairs. Says, morning, I've just been reading Men's Health, and it turns out those people who act out on their kinky thoughts actually have better mental health than those who don't. I realise this man is probably trying to have sex with me. Pretty astute. Not much gets past this guy. He hasn't told me I smell like yogurt yet, but probably on the cards. The Christmas tree farm turns out not to exist. Maybe I'm being harsh. He's just started it and he has 6 of them. They're about the size of a pot of Tipex each, currently growing in his vegetable patch. He used to lay down on the ground in order to show me them. He's very proud of them though and calls them his britties. He gets most of his income from being a landlord in the village, so I spend most of my day digging up someone else's driveway with a pickaxe who hadn't paid their rent. I make an excuse as to why I need to go back to New York. Hélène, French jazz lady, I say, has broken her leg, and I need to look after her. Buys this absolutely insane excuse and agrees to take me to the bus station in the morning, but says we should have a fun and crazy time tonight. When we get home, me and have an hour-and-a-half argument about Trump. He is a big fan. I gently try to make the point that not all refugees, i.e. my grandparents, are total scum. He says, agree to disagree. Let's get in the jacuzzi. Which is an incredible way to end a debate. I mean, they should do that on TV more, I think. Like, Mr. Starmer, Mr. Sunak, let's get in the coos. It's bubble time. I need to appease him, so he'd drive me to the bus station the next morning. So I was like, I'll go put my swimming trunks on then. He says, swimming trunks? And I say, yes. And he says, that's not how the Swedish do it. And I say, we're not in Sweden. I come back downstairs and he's looking very Swedish indeed. He offers me a drink, but I throw it down the sink when he isn't looking because it looks like he's taken something. His eyes are wide, his jaw is swinging. The hot tub is very small, more of a hot bucket. I crash in the corner as small as I can where he spins around talking about the history of Sicily and how he wants to become a foot massage therapist and needs to practice. I don't think that's a job he can just decide to be. So I politely decline his offer of a free massage. After a while I realise my fingers are wrinkly and get out. I shower but realise I haven't eaten all day, so I come downstairs hoping we may have made some food. I arrive in the living room and he's taking more drugs. There's a laptop open with porn on it. I can't believe the signal he can get in these woods. He insists on giving me a foot massage despite my protestation, saying it's no trouble and gets the oil out. He starts rubbing my foot. I am not feeling relaxed. He moves on to my ankle and then to my calf. I think, I'm not an expert, but that's not the foot. I brush over this in the diary and just cover it with like a really shitty joke. Basically what happens is, like I said, the diary starts to my foot, works way up to ankle, then to my calf, works up to my thigh, and then he tries to grab my penis, tries to force himself on me. I have to sort of like fight him off, and I sort of spin around, run out the door. I run up to the room where I'm staying, I don't really know what to do. And all the time I'm thinking, this isn't what Obama said America was going to be like. Like, anyway, he picks up the shit. I run into the room and he picks up the shitty joke. That can't be why they're called the Yanks. The door doesn't lock, so I barricade the door as best as I can with my backpack. Knocks my door wanting a chat. I say I'm tired and he seems annoyed, but leaves. I don't sleep. He returns after an hour. I say I'm still trying to sleep. He seems surprised, but leaves again. He comes back 2 more times, and the 4th time when I say I'm going to sleep, he says, what the fuck, man? What's my problem? It's like talking to a fucking brick wall here, and accuses me of being rude. He says he just wants to talk. I realise I'm going to have to open the door. I walk to the door, and in my head I think there's no way this can possibly get any worse. I open the door and say something I'll never forget. I just want to say that downstairs, the BBC are reporting that Britain's just left the EU. I don't know if you guys remember where you were when you found out about Brexit. I was like, fuck. Bob! I think, oh, even if I survive, my life is over. Stares at me and then goes and vomits all over the bathroom. I do not sleep the rest of the night, crash around the house, but about 6 it is quiet and I look for a weapon. I don't want to go downstairs in case I wake him up, and he's American, so he might have an AK-47. But all I have is my belt. I realise as I pack it, if I whip that out if he tried something on, that might not be a deterrent. He might just think I'm concerned about improving his mental health. I sneak downstairs, hitch a ride back to the bus station, and get the bus back to New York. When I arrived back in New York, I don't know what to do, so I leave him a bad review on the website. 2 stars. Had to escape, but he did have a jacuzzi. I spent the last of my money on a flight home and vowed never to be that naive again. Just as I finalised booking the ticket, I get a call from James. He's celebrating the end of his exams. First questions he asked is, "Hi mate, have you had any action yet?" I say, "Well, I've got good news and bad news." And that's not the end of the show, and it's not even the secret. But it is a story I didn't really tell many people for quite a long time. I told my mum, I told James, I told but I didn't talk about it at all really, because I was quite embarrassed about it. I got myself in that situation. I was really ashamed about it, and so how it made me feel, especially, I'm quite scared, sort of quite a lot of things, of other people's intentions, of trying new things, like of ever leaving the West Country, like of ever looking weak or vulnerable again, so that's why I had my shields on. That's why I didn't want to ever bring it down. And then someone told me, "Oh, we got to talk about yourself more." And I was like, "We're here, fucking go." So I started taking a couple more friends, and I generally felt better every time, because I don't think you can be scared of something that you're laughing at. I think I was writing these jokes as they happened, the apologies that they're a bit mid. I was writing them age 19, like a few days later. I'll give myself a bit of credit. That's how you cope when things go wrong. I never thought I'd do a show about it, because like I said, I want people to leave things better. And also I'm super aware as well. I probably don't even have the worst story in this room, right? Like especially amongst the women, but probably amongst the men as well. And that's fucking bullshit. But people say men have got to talk about these things more. I thought it might help me, and it might make other people feel a bit better too. And in a show like this, you need an ending, and for quite a long time, the ending was this. Basically, when I was writing the show, I googled George for the first time, and found out he now uploads guitar covers to YouTube. They're just like the ones he played me, and one of them he's playing Country Road. The original ending of the show, I sort of thought, oh, it'd be funny if I made loads of QR codes and maybe put them on chairs as the audience came in. And then which linked to the video, and then everyone who sees the show can leave little cheeky comments underneath. There's nothing to give the game away, but just got like a little fuck. I wanted the show to be like a fuck you to George, basically. So I was just like, we can leave little cheeky comments underneath, just look through the show, like, oh, I'm watching this the Swedish way, I'm not all like this, put my Christmas tree up, or something like that. I'd be like, seeing those comments will let me and everyone else know that other people are on our side. Fuck guys like that, we're strong together. Clap, clap, clap. Well done, me. That's not how the show ends now. Because basically, I was doing that for a while, and it wasn't working. I wasn't helping me get over it, and I visibly wasn't over it on stage as well. And that was a major issue, because it meant my thesis didn't work. Because I was like, talking about it helps, and then I was talking about it quite a lot, and it wasn't helping. and about a month before the Fringe, I figured out why. Because basically, I realised why I wasn't getting over it. It's because I was approaching the whole thing quite cynically. Because I was doing it for a comedy show, right? Because I was doing a show here. That's what it's for. I've changed the story, right? All the jokes, I kept all the jokes, but I took things out just to make it more palatable, really. So make it funnier, less tense, less sincere. I told you I got out fine. Did it all really cheery tone. I lied, sorry. I think that's quite a cynical thing to do if you just do it for a comedy show here at the Edinburgh Fringe. And I think if you bring up a topic as serious as this, and then only talk about it ironically or sarcastically, you're not really talking about it, and also you can't really pretend to be helping at all. So the real secret isn't that. That's the story, but the real secret is what happened after. Because the real secret is after America, I was suicidal for the first time, and there were thoughts in my brain. There was spasms that were that hit me, telling me to do it, and they would come and go over the years after that. But they'd be worse whenever I felt like I'd reached for something too good to be true, and then suffered because of it. Whenever I felt like I'd been too optimistic. That's why I had my shields up, right? Because it felt like if I lowered them, I didn't know what I was going to do to myself. And because that's what happens when you get hurt, right? Your brain naturally becomes more mistrust to protect yourself in the future, but that could go too far, and you can unconsciously become sceptical that good things are even possible. That's what happened to me. I've become very, very negative as a sort of baseline. And that's really dangerous. I think that's increasingly common for young people, and especially young liberal people.
Like we become very, very negative as like a default. Like, all the time I hear people say or write, like, oh, the planet's burning, like we're all going to die, what's the point? Like, oh, all politicians are the same. Like, we're always going to fight over something. And those are like constructive or clever things to say. And then they wonder why the far right's appealing to so many people. I'm not saying don't be critical. This isn't like a sort of, oh, we've all got to be positive all the time. Like, you know, like toxic positivity is bad too. Like, you should be critical when things are bad. Like, unless you're reviewing this show. I gave him 2 stars. And talking about it is good advice too. Like, of course it is. But you just can't do it all negatively, is my point. Because you've got to think that things can be better for them to get better. You can't just curse the dark, right? You've got to light a candle. Like, if you lose the ability to separate the good news from the bad news, things won't get better, they'll just spiral worse and worse and worse. Like, it's something you've got to try and find it where you can. And that realisation will help me get over it, so about a month before the Fringe. I'm still going to give you the QR codes. Because I think it's funny. And I still want you to leave comments and stuff like that, but one slight difference. So I think the biggest, think about you, because this is think about this, because I want the show still to be a fuck you to George. But I think the biggest fuck you to George isn't just to talk about him, or even just to laugh at him. To do both of those things, then respond with hope. So like, I was still going to give you the QR codes work as well. If you're missing one for whatever reason, I've got them on little tea lights as you leave. And I want you to leave your jokes, because I think that I quite enjoy reading them. But leave a little candle emoji as well, because I think that's the biggest response you can give. I think trying to make things better, you should never apologise for it. And if someone tries to make you think that trying to make things better is pointless, you can't agree with them because then they win. Whether that's like a politician, whether that's some illusion in the woods, or a voice in your own head, don't give them that win. Because like most things that are good in the world are there because someone's trying to make something better around them, even when it gets fucking tough. Whereas people like James, right? He's a doctor now, works in the NHS, in Cardiff in the emergency, in A&E, and he does night shifts all the time. He's the only doctor on call, and he does what he can. Like it's teachers in this country going to schools every single day, underfunded schools, with a smile on their face because they know that like a positive interaction with a kid might be the only positive interaction that kid can rely on. These refugees come to this country in the hope, risking their lives in the hope their grandchildren can have better lives than they did, even if they won't be around to see it. They're planting seeds for trees they might not even see. Like, and if you're struggling, it's doing whatever it is you do to get yourself out of bed in the morning, even if it's not very cool, financially successful, or you never make it doing it, even if it's doing it, showing a yurt surrounded by clowns and doing your own tech. I'm here, if that's not making it, I don't know what it is. And if anybody says this isn't making it, by the way, they're not just taking the piss at me, they're taking all the piss out of all of you for being here. So it's moving to the city you said they never moved to, it's trying to fall in love a second time, and it's wearing white trousers while you're doing it. It's asking, can we fix it? And replying, yes we can.
Yes we can.
Yes we can.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
can. If you know that when you get knocked down, you'll get back up again, they'll never keep you down. Because if you think the better days are ahead, then I promise you there always will be, and they'll be better for you being there. Because at the end of the day, that is the audacity of hope, motherfuckers.
Yeah!
Appreciate it, thank you. That's my show, I hope you liked it.